So let's get to know you a little bit, David. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how. Now, I have to say that uh, being in technology for many years doesn't mean you are old, you know.
Okay.
Because it's only a few years, the whole technology thing. I mean, of course, I'm not talking about the computer
It's true.
revolution. I'm talking about internet. This is not really that old.
Yes.
So it doesn't
Yes.
mean.
Exactly.
So how how did you end up being in this space? What was the appeal to you?
Um, well, quite honestly, what was going on is really involved in e-commerce, and e-commerce was getting much more difficult. And then I started getting involved in Amazon, and Amazon was so easy. And so, it was really a no-brainer. It was really easy to be successful on Amazon at that point. And now it's changed, and now it's evolved, but it's taken a much longer for Amazon to get difficult than it was for e-commerce, um, because the conversion rates on Amazon are so high.
Yeah.
Whereas conversion rates on a website are typically 2 to 5%. Conversion rates on Amazon can be 10 to 30%.
Well, I mean, because, when you bring somebody to your website, you're bringing them off the web, and they're not necessarily shoppers, but anybody who comes to Amazon, they're looking to buy something. But my question to you is, how did you end up in e-commerce in general? Why not, like, it could be in any other business?
Actually, I started my career as a copywriter, as a direct mail copywriter, um,
Oh,
and and um, and and I sort of got frustrated because I would create something that was much better than someone else's, and that they would win. And then I realized that really, it had nothing to do with the copy; it had to do with the audience, and it had to do and so I began to move more into analytics. And I moved to e-commerce, and then I evolved into Amazon.
so you were writing copy, and then that led you to paying more attention to why that was being paid attention to. But in order for somebody to move into the analytics area, they need to have some kind of a numbers oriented background. So is that your background?
No.
So how did that, how did that happen?
When you work in large companies, you have to develop a core competency in dealing with numbers. So, you figure it out.
I see. Okay, so before, but now you're running your own company. You have
Yes.
been for many years. So, but a switch then occurred. So you were working in a company, and then you became an entrepreneur.
Yes.
How did that switch occur?
Um, it, um, uh, I was telling some people about the success that we were having on with Amazon, and they asked me to sort of help them out, and it just kind of fed on itself. And then I eventually realized, what, this is a lot more interesting. The Amazon business, um, and uh, and so then I decided, what, it makes sense to really focus full time, because this is where the opportunity is.
So, I mean, as you know, being an entrepreneur is a whole different ballgame because
Yes.
you eat what you kill, right? And at the same time, the what is driving you is usually not necessarily the money, right?
Mhm.
It's so tell me why you do what you do.
Um, because I like to help people be successful. And I like to help people um, identify opportunities that they may not be thinking about. And I think what happens is, in this business, so much of it is um, is very tips and tricks focused. But when you look at things for the whole picture, That's how you really make big improvements, you know,
And what is the benefit? I mean, other than the compensation, but that's secondary. But what gets you excited about helping somebody?
because you have so many different types of problems, you know, and different challenges, you know, and each company has their own set of challenges and opportunities, you know, and being able to convert those challenges into an opportunity is really exciting.
Yeah, it's almost like a rush you get out of doing
Mhm.
something, right? So it's something that they never thought about, and there's always those moments where you see, oh, this is really working. So, well, that's it's great. I mean, I all my guests, mostly they are all entrepreneurs. They started their companies, and they all have the same thing in common. Nobody's doing what they are doing for money. It's because they either get a satisfaction out of it because they were denied satisfaction when they were growing up or whatever. And it usually goes way back to the beginning of how you started. You start your life one way and then it goes another.
Sure.